welcome to Raw Vlog number 38. Raw Vlogs are recorded in front of a live steering wheel on my way to getting my Friday morning coffee delivered to you raw and unedited. There's an ambulance. Raw and unedited, definitely raw. Yeah, I totally lost what I was saying because there's an ambulance. Today is Friday. That's because yesterday I was sick. I know I said I was going to start recording these on Thursdays and delivering them on Fridays, but I've been sick the last couple of days. So we're on Friday. We're actually on Friday today. So those of you who are bummed about the Thursday or Friday thing, at least today you're going to get me on Friday. I'm still a little bit sick, but we're still going and getting coffee. And right now we're sitting in traffic. Anyway, today's Raw Vlog. If you're unfamiliar with the channel, I'm Alan. This is the MTB Alan channel. Fresh episodes every Monday at 5 p.m. as well as these Raw Vlogs. Check to see if you're subscribed. See if that little subscribe button is red. If it is, hit it because red is bad, right? That's error. Hit that so that way you will be subscribed. I'll show up in your feed and you'll be supporting the channel. So yeah, do that. And if you end up liking this video, hit the like button to also support the channel. Today's Raw Vlog is about how being a success is maybe not always the best goal. At least it's not for me. It drives me a little bit crazy. We're gonna get into that. Before we get into that, let's cover some channel news. I'm gonna be doing my first ever group ride on the 29th of this month, February. We're in February still, so the 29th of February we're gonna be at Laguna. We're gonna leave from the Willow staging area, the bottom of Willow, at around 8:15. I think they open the gates down there. They actually open the park at like 8. So if you're into that, show up for that. I'm doing this in collaboration with the Path Bike Shop. I recently re-signed my ambassadorship for 2020 with the Path Bike Shop. Super stoked on that. So show up for that because I'm stoked on this group ride because it's going to be run by the Path basically, and I'm just going to kind of be there. So they will be doing the leading and sweeping and just making it a fully legit ride, which I've never done before. I don't know how to, I've never like run one of those things before. So it's going to be a no drop ride. And yeah, there'll be more details coming soon. I think the Path on their Facebook page and maybe on their Instagram, they'll be promoting it. So look for that. Cool. The other news is that I'm currently working on the episode with BCPOV and Fangirl Yuka. Again, I've been sick most of the week, so I haven't done much more than log the footage. So I'm hoping to get that out Monday. I'm a little bit bummed that I've been sick because I really wanted to put a lot of energy into that episode and haven't really had the energy to do so. So I'm gonna try to like get in there and just put some time into it. Really awesome weekend with that crew, with Tony from the Outsider MTB channel and Yuka and Eric from BCPOV. Just really rad people, and I spent pretty much all weekend with them. Yeah, and that's actually, sorry, I shouldn't have talked about that because that was my Stoke of the week. Riding with Yuka and Eric was just really rad, and I really appreciate that Tony from the Outsider MTB channel invited me out to ride with them when we went out to Greer, and then we just kind of connected up and wanted to ride again. We went and rode Sky Park. All that was really rad. Stoked on that. You know, it's, let me get into that a little bit. It's rad when you see the, you know, when you've been watching somebody on a YouTube channel for a while and you see a certain personality coming across through the lens, and then when you meet them, it's the same. They're the same people. I thought it was rad that like Yuka and Kelly got along really well. Yeah, anyway, but hopefully some of that will come across in that video. let's jump into our subject matter. So this is kind of going along with my whole theme for this year. Being a success, I think, is not a good goal. And so I watch a lot of, I shouldn't say a lot, I watch a fair bit of content from YouTube where creators are talking about, you know, steps for success, and, you know, how to do all these things that just kind of make you more successful in your life. And I'm not saying, and this isn't saying anything bad about them, or it's not that I disagree. I think an underlying message that sometimes comes across that a lot of those creators are not meaning to have come across is the idea of becoming a success, like hitting this, like, arrival point, this point where you achieve the status of successfulness, and thus you are at that point the noun a success. And I think that's a dangerous concept to have in a couple of ways. So let me kind of talk about the difference real quick. Having success, experiencing success, or succeeding at things that you want to do, setting goals and then hitting those goals is one thing. You know, that's really kind of part of a process, and it has this journey aspect to it. Not like don't stop believing journey, but, well, I mean, I guess, you know, they were pretty successful. In any case, that's really kind of that process-oriented concept of, like, continuing to get better and continuing to hit your goals. But there's this other kind of evil twin brother to that concept, which is to achieve the status of successfulness, of being a success. And I know, like, I got into that, where you feel like you've done the things, you've checked the boxes, whatever list you had in your head, and now you have this status, and you kind of walk around with this invisible badge that you try to make visible to everybody around you. So some of the dangers with that, like, static successful concept, or being a success concept, is that it's easy to become complacent when you feel like you've achieved that status, because, you know, you've got the award, you've done the thing, you've got the t-shirt or whatever that you can wear, you can wear the color, and so that complacency, you know, now you're not going to maybe grow quite as quick, or you don't necessarily see the reasons to grow as quick. Just it's a kind of emotional difference, and it's not something that we are necessarily conscious of. It's something that, it's a shift. I think it's maybe even a way, it's maybe even a, it's like when you maybe finish a trail, or you get to a certain point in a trail, you get to the peak or you get to the bottom. It's maybe just the metaphor would be that you would just, like, stay there, and stay there a little bit too long, when you really should be moving on to the next stage or the next thing that there is to do. And yeah, so you're not going to progress as fast. That's just kind of the point there. The other thing, though, is that it's easy to put yourself in a place where you feel let me turn this on me. I've been at places where I feel like I have a fly in the truck. Let's see if we can get rid of him. In any case, we're going to leave the fly alone. Where I felt like I reached a certain point in my riding, or whatever it is, but, you know, we'll keep this to riding, where I've reached a certain point in my riding, and then I start ranking myself against others, and then that attitude is, you can already see, you know, it just can make you really judgmental. But I think it also ignores the fact that in order to keep that quote-unquote status, you have to do the work, right? You have to keep working, because those skills will go away. So I think that status doesn't really exist. And again, I'm not saying that a lot of these content creators that whose content I consume, I'm not saying that they're saying this and that they're implying this, but I do feel that that message can come across, or that we can read into what they're saying and get that. I know that's happened with me. So being a success is not a thing, or not necessarily something that at least I find value in that goal. I find value in the goals of improving my processes, improving the way I go about things, and then the little successes or the progression that I make come out of those improved processes. They say that, perfection is the enemy of good, or also perfection is the enemy of done. And there's some things about that I dig, where if, again, that idea of, that's kind of the third danger of the concept of the static being a success, which is it can make that concept, or it can make that goal seem unreachable, and it can make it so that you become somewhat paralyzed and don't even move towards that goal, or even move away from that goal. And I know that's happened for me a lot, where I'm really uncomfortable with the thought of even thinking of myself as being a success, or having anybody else think of me as a success. And then I don't even want to deal with that, because of my own emotional damages and whatnot, which we're not going to talk about in this raw vlog today, maybe at some point. And I think the fourth thing really that is so kind of toxic about that concept is, what is that definition really based on, or wrapped around? And it's wrapped around other people's view, right, of you. So, or what's even worse, it's our concept of what we think other people think of us, which is like pretty freaking neurotic. But we have this concept of what other people see as a success, and then we want to like match that idea. And at that point, it has nothing to do with what actually feeds our souls. So yeah, for me, again, kind of being a child of the 90s, that idea of success, I think, not a child of the 90s, but Bob Dylan, in one of his songs, he talks about success, the way he says it, S-U-C-K, success. But that idea of like, it's just, I don't know, I haven't really been able to unpack that, but I just kind of come from a place of that chasing success is one of the things that can really deplete your soul. And a lot of times you'll find yourself slicing off pieces of your soul for that so-called success. And then you end up with no soul and lots of success, lots of success. So yeah, let me know what you think about that. Again, I'm not saying that like being bad at stuff is the goal, but I feel that we are all on a trajectory, and we are never really still. We're always kind of moving, and by continually adjusting where we're trying to go, adjusting our target, that doesn't mean anything about where that target is or where we're going to end up. It really affects what we're doing right now and the adjustments we're going to make right now. So if I'm like targeted over there, it puts me here, and then if I want to go over there, it puts me there, right? But I may never reach there, but it affects where I'm at here and now. Does that make sense? I'm giving you some visuals. So if you're listening to this and you're not getting the visuals, I'm kind of pointing. I've got a point, an end point, and the point where I'm at now, and if I adjust the end point, it's going to adjust where I am now. And the end point is more of a reference than an actual thing. It's an abstract. Ah, the duality of the abstract and the concrete. Even in NASA, you know, they talk about actual. You know, they have like the plan and then they have the actual. And I think that's maybe the metaphor. I don't know, maybe go watch Apollo 13 and they talk about the actual. Yeah, that's all I got for today. Again, I'm sorry if this was a little bit rambly. Wait, aren't they all kind of a bit rambly? I've been sick the last couple of days, so I normally do a bit of like writing and note taking for this so that I can give you something that's a little bit structured. But today was really just kind of coming off the cuff on stuff that I'd been ruminating about for the last couple of days. So again, this is Raw Vlog 38. Success. Hope you dug it. Hit that like button, let me know you dug it. Check to see if you're subscribed. If you're not, hit that subscribe button and I'll show up in your feed and you'll be supporting the channel. See you next week.